We're going to get started with meditation time first. And this week I'm leading a very exciting training. This is the final module for our students who began their journey with us before COVID-19. This is for their 300-hour certification if they're yoga teachers, and it's for a yoga psychology certification if they're mental health providers. So this class is in honor of their content for today, what we're going to do. So please take a comfortable and upright seat, a seat you can sustain for a few minutes of meditation. You're welcome to close your eyes. And let your attention come into the present moment. You may first want to acknowledge each of your senses since it's midway through your day and your senses have been involved in activities. We say in yoga, like the objects of your attention may have been outwards. So acknowledge in this moment the sensation of the eyes. Maybe the light against your eyelids. The sensations of the nose, any sense of fragrance in your environment. The sensation of the tongue, any residual sense of taste on the tongue. The sensation of the ears. The sounds both in your environment and beyond the walls of your environment. And the sensation of the skin, the experience of touch. Whether it's your clothing touching your skin, the seat you have on your blanket or your mat, or one body part touching another. So through the doorway of the senses, we come into the here and now, the present moment. And then begin to deepen your breathing. Encourage the breath to help you also lengthen your spine. So there's a kind of respectful readiness or alertness that you begin to have for your practice. So listen for a smooth inhale and a smooth exhale. And notice how your breath is showing up may be an indicator of how well you slept, the food choices you've made, the rhythm of your routine this morning, yesterday. The experience of your breath may reflect the quality of kindness in your communications, in your relationships. And likewise, if the breath is disturbed or less than smooth, it might be reflecting your sleep, food choices, rhythm, routine, speech and actions. So every time we come to our practice, we have this opportunity for self-reflection, which yoga calls svadhyaya, self-study. And I'm going to encourage you to see the information that's provided from your practice, from your breath, from your senses, to see the information as an offering for you from which you can awaken. So don't see the information as like you're being tested or you're getting evaluated or somehow it can feed the voice in you that says you're failing or not doing enough, and so on. With your senses gathered here and your breath deep and smooth, let's now begin with the chant. So we'll be using Sahana Vavatu. Let's begin together. You can put your hands to your heart. Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Saviryang Karavavai, Tejasvinavaditamastu, Ma Vidveshavai, Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Saviryang Karavavai, Tejasvinavaditamastu, Ma Vidveshavai, Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Saviryang Karavavai, Tejasvinavaditamastu, Ma Vidveshavai. Om Shanti Om Shanti Shanti Om. With your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart. Release your hands, please. You may open your eyes if you like. We're going to do a little bit of work to mobilize the lower body, pelvis, lower back, sideways, so that the pranayama may be easier to access. I would also like us to be able to squeeze and release the diaphragm and the solar plexus, because for some of you, what I have heard is that your stamina for how many exhales we do, you want that stamina to increase a bit. And that means we have to build the reflex in the diaphragm where you can expel, relax, and it's a quick process. But the relaxation part of that cycle means that we can't start from a place of tension already at the diaphragm. So let's start like this. Please raise your left arm up overhead. And then walk your right hand to the right and side bend to your right. Keep your left hip grounded, please. When you inhale, lengthen your left side waist. When you exhale, tone your left lower belly. When you inhale, lengthen your side waist again. You're not dropping that tone completely. When you exhale, tone the low belly slowly, slowly, and more deeply as you get to the end of the exhale. And then gradually inhale, allowing the tone part to release into a lengthening of the side body. Now with your next exhale, start bringing yourself upright and notice that your left low belly has to help you with that. And then release the left arm down. Okay, other side, inhale, raise your right arm up. And then side bend to your left. Keeping your right hip grounded. Let's use the same kind of methodology. So the inhale is for opening, lengthening. And the exhale to tone from inside your right low belly. Increase the tone as you get towards the end of the exhale. Release the tone slowly and gradually. So each part of the breath and each part of the releasing or toning has a gradual component to it. With this exhale, use your right low belly to come back up to center and relax your right arm down. Interlace your fingers. Inhale forward and up. And then exhale, open wide. Just come out to a T shape. Turn your palms up. Inhale to rise up. Exhale, twist to your right. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, twist to your left. Inhale to rise up. And exhale, sweep out entirely. Return your hands to your lap. And close your eyes for a moment. Allow the abdomen to relax as completely as possible. There will be an internal tone that keeps you upright in your seat, but no need for abdominal tension right now. Okay, so another thing that we'll do to help now with the pranayama, when you go up to your inhale suspension, I'm going to ask you to make the low belly right through here more vigorous, to pull in and up. Unless you're already doing quite a lot of vigor, then you don't have to increase it. But to the extent that we increase the activation here during the inhale suspension, we may get a more complete release during the exhale. And that can help to build us to the place where we're able to expel, release the breath in these more flutter exhale patterns. Okay, so let's do bhastrika first. I teach it as blowing out the mouth like a straw, like that. Okay, let's begin. Now inhale through the nose, up to the inhale suspension. Lift and puff the chest, make it very bright. Snug the low belly in and up vigorously. Bring your chin down and in. And then release those bandhas to exhale smoothly and slowly out through your nose. At the end of the exhale, look for as complete a relaxation of the diaphragm as you can have. Don't make any effort to breathe. You make no effort not to breathe, no effort to breathe. Now with the spine tall, let's do kappalabhati. So this is through the nose rapidly, and then we'll have inhale suspension, and we'll go to Nadi Shodhana. Let's begin. Exhale. Inhale to suspension. Close the right nostril. Exhale left side only. A complete exhale. Inhale left. Suspend. Close the left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Suspend. Exhale left. Deeply relax the belly, the absence of tension to the extent possible. And bringing this, hopefully, some mental equanimity now, we're going to go up to standing. And I'd like you to have a chair and a block. And if you don't have a chair, a wall or a countertop might also suit you. For the first part, a chair is ideal. I recall that some of you could use a desk, I suppose, or some other object that's, you'll see when we get to that spot in class. So a chair and a block. Let me get my chair, please. So you're going to be standing on the block on one foot. So in order for you to see me, I'm going to put my chair to the side of where I'm standing. You can have yours right in front of you if you prefer that. Otherwise, please stand up on your left foot on your block. And I'd like the right leg to be able to dangle, so it's really free. And I'm going to ask you not to be tempted to put the right toes down unless you actually find you need it. Okay, so root the tailbone and please level both hips here. And raise your right arm up. And keeping the left leg strong, which includes your left outer hip, please side bend gently to your left. It's fair to use the chair for a support, but not that much weight on the chair. So you could also have your hand dangle. So keeping the left leg and the left butt strong. On the inhale, let's lengthen right side waist and let the right leg get heavier so that the length of the right side waist includes going down and up. And when you exhale, start toning your right low belly gently but consistently. Once more, inhale. And now exhale, squeeze your left hip, left butt, left leg, right low belly, rise up to stand so you are balancing this time. And then from inside the right low belly, start lifting your right knee up. And place your right foot into tree pose on your left leg. There you go. Join your palms together. You can also use the chair for balance if you prefer that. I don't want you overly relying on the chair, but you don't have to be without it completely. So tone the left butt, left leg, left foot across the seatbelt muscles of your abdomen. Reach out through your right thigh towards your right knee. Raise your arms up overhead. And then side bend to your left. And you may again lightly touch the chair, but don't rely on it for all of your balance. Keep the left hip steady, left leg steady. And again, lengthen out through your right thigh towards your right knee. So that part of the side waist lengthening is out through your right knee, not only up through your right arm. And then using your right low belly, let's exhale, rise back up to tree pose. Raise your left arm up. Now being very thoughtful here, it's not just that you're transitioning out of a yoga pose, your transition is yoga. And bring your right knee forward. Now bend your left knee. Take the right toes back. Place your right heel, virabhadrasana 1. And so here you may start to sense the right hip flexors as well. So keep the left foot steady, left shin and thigh steady. Root down through your tailbone, squeeze your right butt muscles. As you raise up, imagine that you're lifting the t-shirt out of both sides of your waistband. So you're lifting the ribs to pull the t-shirt out from your imaginary belt. And then let's exhale, float the arms wide, and see if you can step up to mountain pose, utkatasana. And then right foot down, let's change sides. So you're going to step up on your left foot this time. And you can have the chair for light support. You can also have it for balance support, but just not to overly rely on it. Oops, wrong side. Let the left leg dangle to be free without temptation for the toes to clutch the floor, we hope. So then squeeze your right butt, right hip, right thigh. Raise your left arm. And begin to arc over. Now there might be an inclination for some of you for the left leg to counterbalance out to this side, but I'm going to ask you to keep it dangling down and squeeze your right butt muscles behind you. And as you let the left leg be heavy, it's like a pendulum that became still. Think of the length of your left side waist as being both down through your left leg and up through your left arm. And breathing in, we're going to tone the left low belly to exhale, rise up, raise your right arm up next to your left. And then float your left knee up, and you're going to be placing it in tree pose. Place your heel high, medium, or low, but not on your knee, please. Join your hands together at your heart. And as firmly as your left heel presses into your right thigh, make your right thigh that firm in response. And raise your arms. Keep the breath smooth. And as you lengthen out through your left thigh towards its own knee, you can side bend to your right. And keeping the tailbone grounded. One thing we're not doing right now is sashaying the hips towards the chair or even away from the chair. The hips are centered, standing over your right heel. So your right hip should still be over your heel, yeah. And then please rise up slowly. Use the breath to help support your low belly as part of your balance system. And bring your left knee forward. Bend your right knee and glide back with the toes of your left foot to virabhadrasana 1. And as you raise up in virabhadrasana 1 now, squeeze your left butt so your left hip flexors do get highlighted. And then exhale, release, and see if you can step up to mountain pose, utkatasana, one-footed mountain pose. And then step down, release. Okay, there you are. Let's put the chair aside for a few moments and step to the front of your mat for Surya namaskar. 2 blocks, please. So this 2-block method, I know some of you are familiar with it. We are going to be doing the sun salutation on these 2 blocks. I have to adjust my camera so you can still see my feet. You won't see me entirely because either you get some of the feet and some of the head, or only all of one and none of the other. Okay, so you step up to your 2 blocks for mountain pose and come into your ujjayi breath. We can also pray. In other words, put the hands together in prayer position. Okay, ujjayi, let's inhale, sweep the hands down, wide and up. Exhale, chair pose. So when you come down to chair pose, keep your knees as wide as your toes are right now. Then inhale, rise up, upward hands pose. Exhale, bow forward to uttanasana. Completely fine to have extra blocks for your hands in front of you, or you can touch the floor, or you can bend the knees and touch the ankles. You inhale, lengthen your spine forward. Exhale for a deep bow in your uttanasana. Inhale, rise up, keeping your legs steady. Exhale, hands to the heart. And we're going to continue seamlessly. So inhale, raise both arms. Chair pose, utkatasana. Put your body weight into your right leg. Inhale, Karate Kid pose. Sweep your right arm back. Exhale, glide into virabhadrasana 1. Touch the left heel down and then raise your right arm up. Okay, exhale, forward. Glide the right arm back. Keep your back heel grounded. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, glide forward. Keep the back heel, front leg steady. Make the breath steady as well. One more time. Inhale, rise up. This time, exhale, reach forward with both arms. Come about halfway forward, and then inhale to your Karate Kid pose. And exhale, chair pose. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Repeating. Inhale, to the other side. The exhale, chair pose. Put your weight into your left leg. Inhale, Karate Kid pose. Sweep the left arm back and glide your right toes back. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, glide forward. Take the left arm back. So we're adding a little cross crawl pattern here. Inhale smoothly, left arm forward, both arms up. Exhale, glide. Inhale to rise. Now exhale, come partway forward, about halfway, and then inhale up to your Karate Kid pose. And exhale, chair pose. Inhale, rise up. Exhale to release. Hands to your heart. Please step backwards and in mountain pose, make contact again with each of the five senses. So your eyes, your nose, I should say each of the five sense organs. So the eyes, the nose, your tongue, your ears, your skin, there's another way that we also practice releasing some of the tension from the belly, acknowledging that we do have the inclination for belly tension. Let's take a blanket, please. Come down to the floor. The practice we were just doing wasn't really about your belly tension as much as it was about the integration of all of those things. But this is about belly tension. So you take this open once from the storage fold and then fold it the long side to the long side. Then fold it in half. That's customary for us in these classes. But now take the top of this and fold it one more time, like a little ropey thing on the top of your blanket. And you're going to place this so that your belly button goes on the blanket roll and your elbows go on the two blocks. Great. So you know where the blanket roll is on the belly button. You know where your two blocks are. Start by pressing down against your elbows on the blocks. The blanket is kind of dissecting your sphinx pose. Curl the left toes under and reach your left heel back. Then point those toes. Curl the right toes under, squiggle the right heel back. Then point those toes. Press into both elbows. Raise your chest and heart up. Root the tailbone down. And begin to lift your low belly off of the blanket roll. Now, it's not likely that you're going to come entirely off of your blanket roll, but I want you to sense that you're asking the belly to come in and up, kind of towards the heart actually, and lessening the pressure you have on the blanket roll. Use your legs and your arms to help your pose. So the belly does touch the blanket roll, especially during inhale. It may still be touching the blanket roll on the exhale, but you're asking for there to be less pressure from the belly against the blanket roll. Now keeping your legs engaged, take the 2 blocks out of the way and come down onto the belly bolster. Rest your head on the floor. Rest your head on the back of your hands, stack them like a pillow. And so my hope is that right now your blanket is across your navel, across the middle of the abdomen, and up under the floating ribs. And you're resting so comfortably on that because you didn't eat before class. You have a wonderful diet. You have good digestion. You don't have any belly tension. You never feel stressed. So your blanket bolster is like completely comfortable to you. Of course, I'm speaking about a fantasy there. But as you are resting on the belly bolster, bend your knees so your shins point up towards the ceiling and roll your knees down to the left and the right slowly. So you're also massaging the abdomen left to right. And it's possible that you have some areas of great sensitivity inside the belly, and that they do deserve your full respect, kindness. Come back to center and lay the tops of your feet down to the floor. Walk up to your elbows, place your blocks one more time. Come to your forearms, you can clasp the hands, energize your legs. Now see if you can sense any change for your abdomen and your stomach, all the organs there related to, relevant from before to now. So in this Sphinx pose, we want your thighs, knees, the tops of your feet to be grounded. The elbows are steady. Your upper arms can be vertical. Set your shoulders back. Glide the spine upwards through the crown of your skull. In between all of that, let the breath explore low abdomen, mid abdomen, upper abdomen. And now place your hands on your blocks. Press up and back. Let's take the blanket for the forehead for child's pose, and you can keep your blocks for your hands. You have to move the blanket back to suit your forehead. So to keep your hands at the same height as the blocks or out over the blocks, we want to stretch now the back hemisphere of the diaphragm, the back of the heart, the back of the abdomen. And please walk your hands back towards your knees and rise up to kneeling. Thank you for being willing. I have one more physical asana exploration for you, and then I want us to go to shavasana so we can see how the belly responds to this craziness. So this time I'd like you to have 2 stacked blankets. If you were in class yesterday for the 10 o'clock class, we had a good response to this pose. So we're going to repeat it. Okay, so please sit up on your blanket so that you have your, what am I doing here? Right and left. So your left's going to sit on the left side of your blanket. So the left foot is going to come in. This is called sirsasana. And the right leg goes out. And I do want you to have so that your right thigh is supported by the blanket and that your right knee is supported under here. In other words, you can't hyperextend the knee because you're sitting up higher. For some of you, that is a risk. When you sit up on a couple blankets, your knee bows backward and hyperextends. The left thigh is going to be downward like it was in tree pose. And so press down with the top of the right thigh and encourage the left thigh to also press down as you side bend to your right. And walk your right hand out. And if it's comfortable for your body, raise your left arm up. So part of the change here from janu sirsasana on the floor differently is that we do have the left thigh deliberately downstream. So you may be sensing this region of the body more beautifully, more soon in the pose. In other words, you don't have to bend as far to your right to encounter that. It's helpful if you do keep your left hip on the blanket. So it's not that we are trying to make the left hand reach the right foot, nor that the right hand has to reach the right foot. I do want you to keep your left hip grounded. And then please rise up. As you return, place both feet for a moment in the pose called sirsasana. So it means that your left foot's on the inside, right foot on the outside. Sirsasana is when the heels line up with the pubic bone, the knees go out to the side. Notice the mind. And then shift to the right side of your blanket. So you're going to have your right foot in and right leg in sirsasana, left leg out. Okay, take the hands and press down so that both femurs are being rooted. Side bend to your left. You may walk your left hand out towards your left foot. You may choose to sweep your right arm up. As you're lengthening out through the right side up into your fingers, also keep your right hip grounded, please. And then please rise up. And as you're releasing, fold your left foot into sirsasana. So you've got heel, heel, lined up with the pubic bone. You can put your blocks out of the way, and let's use these 2 blankets and the chair for shavasana. So I'm going to turn my blanket so I can show you a profile view of the shavasana. So when you get set up, what I'm going to recommend is that you have the chair positioned so that you're going to be comfortable putting your hips on the 2 blankets and your legs in a kind of virabhadrasana. So swing yourself about to be on your back. With the chair close enough that if you put the soles of the feet together on the chair, the feet get supported by the back side of the chair, and the knees can't keep going because they are stopped from causing the feet to fall off the chair completely. And then just take notice what happens in the lower abdomen in this position. And looking for that quality of ease in the low belly. We're now going to take the legs out for the resting pose of shavasana. So you can set it up so that your knees are at the front edge of the chair. I tipped my chair to make that possible. And close your eyes.
body to stay heavy, relaxed, for the inner belly to keep resolving the habit of tension. And while keeping the belly at ease, using just enough tone in the belly to put the soles of the feet at the front of your chair now into vrksasana. Notice any additional release of tension in the belly. And slowly bring your knees up to center. Thoughtfully roll down to one side. Once you roll down, please come back to your seat, how you sit for meditation. And trusting that there are internal structures in your body that support your meditative seat, I'm going to ask you to continue noticing the release of abdominal tension, what we actually think of as tension. So can you sit in the inner plumb line, the internal structure, without abdominal tension? Doesn't mean there isn't any tone. And please bring your hands to your heart. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you very much, everyone. Namaste. I will come up to see you. Hi. How is the feeling in the body now and in the mind?